A family reunion in Leesburg, Georgia turned into a terrifying scene after relatives say a man allegedly targeted them in what they believe was a racially motivated attack. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to reports of an active shooting on Autumn Leaf Drive Sunday night after what officials described as a verbal altercation. Family members say they had gathered to celebrate their grandmother's birthday when a car drove by and a passenger, later identified as Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer, allegedly began yelling racial slurs at the group. Witnesses say the man drove off and the family contacted the authorities, but just minutes later, they say he came back. According to the family, Kinzer returned wearing body armor and carrying an AR-15 style rifle. The caption shared by relatives on a TikTok reads, "Imagine gathering with your family, celebrating your grandmother's birthday and the end of a family reunion, only for someone to drive by yelling racial slurs. He came by twice trying to provoke us. When he didn't get the reaction he wanted, he went home, put on body armor, armed himself with the AR-15, and returned to attack our family." Witnesses say around 20 children and older adults were home when gunfire erupted. Ramel Green, a Marine veteran and family member, said people immediately began trying to protect one another as shots were fired. Ramel says he returned fire to defend the women and children who were there. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Kinzer was shot and injured before being taken into custody. After being cleared at the hospital, he was booked into Lee County Jail and charged with aggravated assault. Investigators say additional charges are...
Shalom. First and foremost, son, give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity, scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you I say shalom, Lord willing, this video is edifying. It's going to be sent around the video that was just played on screen. And amidst these racial tensions, you have the opportunity for Esau to show who he truly is, okay, and how he truly feels. It's an opportunity for him to display his, inward frustration with having to bottle up, his desire to slay Jake. But now in this, very contentious political climate, he feels more comfortable to show it. All right, there's a real such thing as black fatigue. Okay, and Esau is fed up, but through the Spirit, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is putting it on his heart, right? Putting it on the Edomite's heart to up the ante. Okay, all these recent events transpiring where these Jakes getting slain or getting thrown in jail for pretty much doing, the minimal things. Jake being framed for things that he's not, and then at the same time, he's been highlighted on the things in which, he's known for doing. Okay, and Jake being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And Esau being the self-proclaimed white man. All right. Pulling up to a family function with an AR and body armor. Right. He's ready. He's hyped up. And at this point, they're just waiting for the go-ahead, the social cue for them to begin hunting. And, Jake really ain't ready, man. Jake has no idea what is coming for they ass, man. Okay? Esau has been setting this up from the very beginning, and he's always felt this way. He's always felt this way. Okay? The only reason he kind of, changed his tactic on Jake was because he had to push certain agendas to get it, get everything flowing and set up to the way that it is now. He used Jake as a tool to advance his society and introduce certain policies, right? Certain behaviors were cultivated out of that. All right, Jake was the prototype. Okay, but now there's not a real reason to have Jake. You got robots, right, on the parts of the labor. Okay, and then you got to where they ready to put in that digital system to where you ain't gonna need so many people around. And you're going to start with the undesirables. This is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. And this is that day, man. We're in the day that Esau is finna go in a direction in which has never been seen on earth, man. Okay, scriptures say nation shall rise against nation. Okay, indicating what? Race wars. All right. Matter of fact, this is Mark 13:8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, right? This is just the beginning. Okay? Because in other parts, it says Egyptians shall fight against Egyptian. Okay? People shall rise up with swords in their hand, and nobody's going to be in between them to stop. Right? To force that stop to happen, it's just gonna go with it. And we're coming up into that point. Okay, you see everything spiraling out of control with Iran. Right, the world is very, very chaotic and very fragile right now. Okay, it's a powder keg just waiting for that one good strike for it to all blow up. Okay, so very, very interesting times we in, but Jake still don't realize it. See, it's a lot of Jakes out here who still, like Charleston White said, I still believe it's some good white people out here cooning. Okay, not understanding, man. Esau's spirit go back to the spirit of Cain. Okay, and when you read this here in Genesis 4:8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Right. So when you read this, you got to put yourself there. Abel didn't know what was finna happen. Abel was not privy to it. Cain just told him, hey, man, let's talk over here in this field and shit. Mid-conversation, you got to put yourself there. Abel probably think, he being weird, but this is my brother Cain. This nigga being weird. He offered fruit for a sacrifice to the Most High. He just got issues. Okay? Didn't think nothing of it. Just like Jake now, man. Jake is just stuck, not thinking much of it, not understanding, man, that these rulings, this animosity, these tensions are not going nowhere. They're only going to increase. And then guess what? Abel, got slew. He was killed. All right. And Esau, he's going, next thing you know, it's just going to be all out hell breaking loose. And Esau's going to be hunting down Jake. Okay. That's the next move. Believe it or not. Okay. Esau has been emboldened. And he know that Jake ain't finna do nothing against him too. I mean, look at all that's been happening. What has Jake done? Absolutely nothing. So nothing stopping him to act out his fantasies. Okay, this is Ezekiel 35:6. Therefore, as I live, said Yahweh Bashim El Shah, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou have not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right. Salakia, verse 5. It's Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred against Salakia, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, because Esau, he's about to, or he's in the process of, making that move with that sword. The scriptures say that violence covereth him as a chain. So his kingdom is crumbling. Okay, which is a sign that he's on his way out. And it's what does he choose to do? He's gonna lash out against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans because he blames you for why this is happening anyway. Okay, here it is. We're at the end of our captivity, but this nigga finna go the hardest because, hey, this is all the spirit. This is what the Lord has ordained to happen. This is what, he gave us to prophesy. Jacob's trouble, That's why he gave us, these scriptures to study, man. This is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 6 or 5. This is Jeremiah 30:5. For there said Yahweh Bashim El Shah, we heard a voice of fear. It's like it. We heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness. Right. Because it's going to be a very scary time. People are not going to, see it coming. They're not going to expect it. So when it's happening, they're going to be caught off guard and in shock. Okay, and we know this is going to happen, man. We're telling you, we're warning you. Okay, the days of mercy, are coming to an end. It's verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right. So this is the time of Jacob's trouble, the time where Esau is going to be risen up to slay you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, because that's ultimately what he was put on this earth to do, to slay you. Okay, and to come up against you. All right. And the Lord put it in his heart to be that way. Okay. This is Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh Bashim El Shah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right. And this is what we're praying and asking the Lord to do for us, to have us overcome these different plagues, these different events that are set to transpire in the world, and have mercy upon us. Okay, deliver us from out of the hands of Esau, because a lot of our people are about to be, served up on a platter. So with thunder, give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim El Shah, Bashim B'Kakadash, Wa Abba Babal, and DTA DTN.